An anti-circumcision group was in town today, protesting on one of Springfield's busiest intersections. The group Blood-Stained Men and their friends were protesting infant circumcision, using fake blood on signs and their clothing. The protesters believe boys should be able to choose whether or not to get circumcised when they become an adult instead of being forced at birth.
Most of the sexual sensitivity of the penis is actually in the part that they cut off when they do a circumcision. It damages a man's full capacity to feel sexual pleasure for life. Studies have shown that cut guys are about 4 times more likely to need Viagra than intact guys.
The group has been traveling across the country spreading their message.
Well, I'm Anne Cecilia Holquist, visiting from Oslo, Norway, where I'm a physician, and I saw this people standing outside here, and it reminded me of a story. I was born in Cornwallis, Oregon, and my brother was born in Portland, Oregon in 1963, and he was born at a hospital there, and my mother had to tell the people working there not to cut his foreskin, because in Norway we don't use that procedure, but it was a routine way back in 1963, and she had to be very careful to tell them not to take his foreskin.
And are you aware of the debate in Norway right now about circumcision?
Well, we don't use it as a routine, and it's just some people moving to Norway from other countries that want this done. But it's not an offer in the hospital, so they have to do it private and under not so good conditions. So we don't use it, and don't use money on it.
And what is your view of baby circumcision as a human rights issue?
Well, since we don't use it, I think it's best to keep your foreskin, and I can't see why you should do that to babies before they can choose for themselves.
How often do you see grown men in Norway required to be circumcised?
Never.
Never?
Okay, so what's your deal?
Huh?
What's your deal?
What's my deal?
Yeah.
Dude, you're walking. If you're really going to record me, I really don't care. But get the fuck out of my face, alright?
I mean, if you want to have a debate, let's have a debate.
Let's have a debate.
But you're
got
fucking,
a child.
you're fucking knocking my shit out of my hands.
Because you have a child.
I have,
that out of my fucking
I have part
dude,
of my...
I swear to God, dude, I will fucking knock you the fuck out. Well, you don't find that picture offensive? To people that have had their kids circumcised?
You want to have a debate? Let's have a
If you want to have a debate, we can.
Okay.
But that picture is quite offensive because...
I don't care.
Of course you don't care. Because it's one-sided. It's your view against everybody else.
You know what else is one-sided?
What?
When I was strapped down as a baby and had part of my body cut off. That was pretty one-sided.
And you remember that.
Is that relevant?
So, you can't fucking debate.
I've already won the debate.
Well, come on
You just don't even realize it.
Really?
Yeah.
Then come on.
Because baby boys have rights.
Hands up. You think you're so fucking bad and you don't give a fuck about anybody else. Well, fuck you and fuck your poster. Fucking swing this. And I will fucking end you in front of all these people.
Well, you don't...
How does it affect you so deeply?
Research the foreskin. Research how many functions you lost. You don't know anything about the foreskin and you're out here saying it doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect me.
You don't know that because you never had it.
Have I died? Do I have cancer? I'm almost 30. I am perfectly healthy. What is the problem?
There's plenty of problems.
Then tell me. Tell me one.
I'm not out
one
here.
Major.
I'm pretty much done wasting my time with you.
If you're trying to prove a point, then one thing. Because you don't. Here we go.
Hold on a second. You said prove one thing?
One thing.
I could prove 16 things to you if I have the fucking sticker on me. I might not. Here. Follow that link when you get home. 16 functions lost.
I think you should really be aware of what the fuck you're putting up in the air.
I think you should be aware of what you cut off of your son's body. And because you're going to have to apologize to him someday.
I'm not going to apologize for shit.
You're going to have to. And if you don't, if you have another son, please.
Talk about my son again.
You brought him up, dude.
Say one more.
You brought him up. I'm just telling you. That's why I'm out here, so nobody else has to apologize.
I'm not apologizing to myself.
I'm trying to save people from having to do that. You know how many people are going to thank me for being out here tonight? I've had like 200 people thank me for being out here. More than that, maybe. Okay?
More than what, baby?
More than what? Thanking me for being out here. And you know how many more are going to thank me when they realize I saved them from making possibly the worst mistake of their life?
I swear to God, what the fuck you saying?
Where's my sign? He's gonna steal my sign.
After I went home and I discovered that my son's penis was not there, I immediately froze like, oh my God. And
Maggie Rhodes says she could not believe what happened when she took her 3-month-old son, Ashton, to Christ Community Health Center on Broad Avenue for a circumcision in August. When it was over, she says they simply returned her screaming son to her, never telling her about the devastating mistake that had happened during surgery.
I should have been notified that something went wrong in this room with your baby. And I wasn't notified that. They gave me back my baby like nothing was wrong.
Something she says she didn't find out about until she went home with a still screaming son with a diaper filled with blood. She says her curious sister finally discovered Ashton's mutilated penis.
When my sister pulled the cloth back, it was covering blood and wasn't no penis there.
I was circumcised at 18. After the circumcision, I felt nothing, no sensation at all. I knew something wasn't right, but I just thought if I waited, everything would go back to normal. So I waited. I was in denial for the longest time. One day it hit me that this was not going to change. So I called the doctor up and told him how upset I was and didn't understand why I had no sensation or feeling left. It was nothing like it was before. He basically told me it was me and cut me off and said he has to go and not to call him again. After that, I got a receipt in the mail saying it's been paid for completely. I didn't pay for it at all. So what I think is they were scared I was going to take legal action, but I didn't know at the time I could or I would have. It was a very lonely time. People don't research it because they look up to doctors, and a lot of the doctors in America that's the first thing they suggest. I believe that it has a lot to do with why guys have so many issues too in this country, why they have to act so extreme, so butch or so feminine. They just don't know. In Europe, they're just relaxed. They're comfortable with their bodies in Europe. The guys in America really aren't, because how can they be when the most important part of the penis was taken from them? Maybe they don't want to believe it, but psychologically, they have to know.
I struggled with trying to understand how something like this could have been done to me, how I could have been the victim of such a heinous thing when the people who allowed it to happen to me should have been the ones looking out for me. So there was this period where there was a lot of internalized emotion, anger, depression, resentment, and a variety of other things that I was really struggling to deal with. I didn't have anyone to talk about this with. I felt very isolated. I felt hopeless. I felt that what had been done to me was so deeply impacting that it was an incredible burden for me to bear, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I kept it bottled up for many years, and it took a lot of time for me to reach the point where I could publicly discuss both my circumcision as well as how I feel about the practice itself.
Ever see an uncircumcised penis? You did. Did you know you were gonna see it? No. It's always a fucking surprise party, right? It's him, right? It's him. Wait, here's the funniest thing. I'm sorry that everyone knows about your penis now, but here's the best part. He's wearing a shirt that says brown coats. Nobody ever tells you, right? He didn't tell you. They don't tell you shit. They're just like, boom, reunited with Snuffleupagus. Enjoy. You guys are so cute. Why don't they tell us? Tell me. We have to become award-winning actresses. Like, oh no, that's totally cool. Mom, can you come pick me up? I don't know. It's wearing like a hat or like a cape, like a brown coat type thing. Why don't they tell us? I would tell you if I had an extra flap over my clitoris. I'd give you a heads up. I would.
It's funny too, man. Like, it's funny when I had my son too. Like when I had my son, I'm in the hospital. My wife went to sleep, so I'm holding him in my arms. First time I'm holding him, then he got the bath, and he cut the umbilical cord, and the hospital's giving me all this paperwork to sign, and I'm just signing. I'm not really reading it. Then one piece of paper caught my eye. It was a circumcision paper, right? And I was like, what is this? And I didn't know that when you have a boy, you have to get the hospital permission to circumcise your son. I thought that shit was automatic, I know he'd ask me permission, just cut it, I mean, for the longest time, I didn't know what a circumcision was. I thought I was born with this Darth Vader helmet. I didn't know I got cut as a baby, You ever seen an uncircumcised dick? That's some weird looking shit, man. I remember the first time I saw an uncircumcised dick, right? I'm 17 years old. I'm in the military, my first day of boot camp. We in the shower. There's like 40 dudes in the shower. This dude walked in. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with his dick? And it's not like I could look around and get a cosigner. I couldn't look at other dudes. Hey, you see his dick? You see his dick? I couldn't stop staring at it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with his dick, man? He ain't got no helmet, man. He's missing his helmet, man. How the fuck does he pee? How does he pee? He ain't got no helmet, man. He's missing his helmet, guys. I couldn't stop staring at that shit, man.
So at this point, it's just like I don't care who I offend. I don't care who I might make feel uncomfortable. Ever since I heard that scream, the scream you can never forget, it was just, that's just always what I remember. Like, I've never been able to unhear that scream, and I have to do the work that I do because I have to stop hearing that scream in my head at night.